We'll move on from tonight's events, but we'll stick with the heavyweights because 20 years ago this week, the world title fight that did so much to shape the modern heavyweight scene. It restored a bit of dignity to the title and lives in the memory of many who saw it, Harry Carpenter included, as one of the greatest of all time. The fight was world champion Joe Frazier against the former world champion Muhammad Ali, and the venue was Madison Square Garden, New York.
This huge circular building is, I suppose, the most famous fight arena in the world. It's Madison Square Garden, in the heart of Manhattan. And it was here 20 years ago that one of the most celebrated fights of all time took place. On March the 8th, 1971, Joe Frazier defended his World Heavyweight Championship here against the former champion, Muhammad Ali. Ali at that time, of course, was in the middle of a comeback after having been banned from the sport for more than 3 years. The whole thing was a quite extraordinary occasion. For a start, it was the first time in the history of the World Heavyweight Championship that two unbeaten fighters had come together, and they shared the biggest purse ever heard of in boxing at that time. They split $5 million down the middle. Ringside seats cost $150 each. That was a lot of money in those days.
We ought to come out with about $750,000 profit after taxes. And as I jokingly said earlier, 50 cents a bottom or 25 cents a cheek.
I first set eyes on Cassius Clay in the Rome Olympics of 1960. He won the light heavyweight gold medal brilliantly. I never dreamt he'd ever be world heavyweight champion, but he did.
You know how great I am. I don't have to tell you about my strategy. I'll let my trainer tell you. Bodine, come here. Bodine, tell him, what are we going to do? You're going to float like a butterfly and sting like a bee. Rumble, young man, rumble. That's what we're going to do. You heard it. That's my trainer. He'll tell you.
In 1964, he won the title and changed his name as a black Muslim.
Why do you insist on being called Muhammad Ali now? That's the name given to me by my leading teacher, the Honorable Elijah Muhammad. That's my original name. That's a black man name. Cassius Clay was my slave name. I'm no longer a slave.
In 1967, he refused to be drafted. Boxing turned its back on him for 3.5 years.
One more time, we don't want no excuses. They may say the film was bad or the camera was broke. One more time, who's the champ of the world?
When he did come back, he boxed just twice and then went looking for Joe Frazier, who had his title.
Hey, fellas, we see Joe Frazier. Holla. How you doing? Trying to find Joe Frazier.
Joe Frazier had come up the same way. In the 1964 Tokyo Olympics, he beat a German, Hans Huber, to win the heavyweight gold medal. And he did it despite a broken thumb. Joe never sought the limelight like Ali. He was a family man, happiest at home and in church, where his love of music was born.
I got Joe Frazier on the other line. You know you're in trouble, don't you?
The only thing scared me that you might don't show up.
I'm glad you can sing and have a band for hire, because after this fight, you must retire.
When you come down to punch me, I got something for you.
Okay, let's quit all the talking. I'm going to give the man the thing, because I'm out to get you.
Yeah, I see you, chump. Be good, chump.
I am ready for Joe Frazier. I predict this will be no contest, big upset. They all will admit that I'm the real champion after this. There'll be no doubt. I'm going to close the book.
You see, you're always so amazing. You never have any doubts at all that you're going to beat somebody. But don't sometimes you have a doubt, perhaps, that Frazier might just beat you?
Oh, he'll be coming in, you know, and I'll be taking my time and keeping my distance on my toes, staying in arm range. I'm taller than he, and pop, pop, sticking him with that fast jab, bruising him and cutting him, sticking him and moving, get a little too close, grab him, tie him up, you know, clinch him, walk with him, you know, just walk him all around.
Well, I can see the fight going, the bell gonna ring, and Clay gonna get out there and he gonna try to jab, and he gonna try to push and jab, and I'm gonna slip and slide, you know, and pop him with body shots, you know, and watch him every now and then he gonna slip and slide, and I get over to the right hand counter.
Do you have any particular plan in mind for what you might do in the ring at the end of the fight? He was talking in terms of if he lost, he would get down on his hands and knees and crawl across the ring and say you were the better man.
That's what I'll do too.
Left hook, right hand, you slip the point. You slip his jab to the left, you hit him with a left hook. You slip it to the right, you hit him with a right hand. Okay.
Yank Durham, ex-railroad worker, was Joe's manager. His trainer, the wise and knowledgeable Eddie Futch.
I made him get a little lower for the Ali fight and stay in close and stay down low to make Ali have to throw the uppercut. I would not let Frazier try to counterpunch on Ali after making him miss. I'd made him punch with him.
Muhammad Ali, but to me, was the greatest individual I've ever met. He never had a downer. Muhammad Ali, while enforced, retirement and stuff like that, he used to come down here. He'd go in the gym and work out. In fact, he would call me up and use this kind of rhetoric. Hey, Ange, you mind if I work out in your gym? I said, what do you mean my gym? It's your gym. So I said, anytime you want to come, come. I said, by the way, I got Jimmy Ellis training. If you want to come in and work with him, I'll make you work out, and I'll pay you, I said. He was in great shape, great physical shape. But what a lot of people don't know is after the weigh-in in New York City, we never left the Garden. And people don't remember that. We had to stay in Madison Square Garden. We couldn't leave Madison Square Garden.
Tonight, they will all admit, they will all say how wrong they were. Listen to me now. This will be no contest.
Hey, let's go. The cars are downstairs. Let's go now. We don't need our hats and coats. We can pick them up when we come back. Right. Jarma, come on. Come on now.
The fight was televised all over the world. It went into more than 300 cinemas and theaters across North America. Anybody who was anybody wanted to be at this occasion.
You have about 5 minutes to the first round. 5 minutes.
It was a happening. I'm walking along the apron, climbing into the ring. I'm about to step into the ring. Muhammad got in, and we let him in. And some guy says, hey, Angie. And then I look at the guy. Bing, he snaps my picture. Frank Sinatra.
One.
Clay is 9.5 pounds heavier. He's 15 stone 5 against 14, 9.5. He outreaches Frazier by 8.5 inches. And Clay looks out and says, he didn't hurt me. How can a man afford to do this? Frazier's hook's falling short. That's a good left hook, and he gets it home to the head of Clay, and Clay's hurt, and he dances away from the ropes because he has to. What a good right hand from Clay. What a fight this is turning out to be. Frazier keeps coming forward, and this is what he's always going to do, and he has to take him as he comes in. Good left hooks from Frazier. And these two will never go 15 rounds at this pace. Stop talking! And Frazier this time snarls back at Clay as Clay catches him to the head. I don't know what he said, but obviously he was showing contempt for the punches. Frazier gets caught as he comes in. He's got a few bumps around his eyes now, Frazier. This is the round that Muhammad Ali predicted just before the fight. This is the one he said he'd beat Frazier in. And they're really testing each other's strength and endurance. This is what he tried to do with Liston way back 7 years ago. That's exactly what he did with Liston. And funnily enough, round about this stage of the fight. And there's the bell, and the prediction has failed. Good left hook from Clay. One of the rare left hooks that he uses. Now he's giving Frazier a working over, and Frazier goes back for the first time. Round 9, and Clay forced Frazier to retreat, and he retreated because he was getting hurt. Big sensation in the 9th. Frazier forced back and hurt.
Round 11.
They've kept up a tremendous pace. That's a slip. He got caught, but it was a slip. No compulsory count of 8. The question now really is whether either of these men has got a hard enough punch left in him to produce a knockout. They've taken each other's best shots well, and I should think it's unlikely now that one or the other will succumb to a punch. It looks as though we're going to get a points decision. And this is it, the final 3 minutes of one of the most amazing World Heavyweight Championships of all time. Muhammad Ali trying to regain his title from the present champion, Joe Frazier. And who's to say at this point that he won't do it? Oh, there it is! The left hook! Frazier's at last caught up with him. Tremendous left hook. He was up at 5, compulsory 8 count. So Clay down, the first knockdown of the fight. Tremendous left hook. Can Frazier now finish him in the last round?
Winner by unanimous decision, and still heavyweight champion of the world, Joe Frazier.
At the finish of that fight, Joe was in great shape because we immediately went to a celebration and at which Duke Ellington's orchestra played. The place was crowded, and it was a real question trying to even get in the entrance. We had all these security people, and they had to fight proud to even get us into our own celebration. Well, after that first one, I sneaked away.
Muhammad Ali was a happening. I mean, a legend. And this guy, that's why he's a legend today, because people are realizing ain't going to be no other Muhammad Ali. Those guys don't come around every other day. This is a happening. How do I feel about it? What a great happening for me. What a great feeling to be with this great fighter. And I enjoyed every minute of it.
Sporting history from 20 years ago, and a reminder that here at Wembley tonight, Lennox Lewis stopped Gary Mason in the 7th round of the big fight. Lennox Lewis takes Gary Mason's British heavyweight title. And the great thing about occasions like this, there's some real sporting talent drawn to the ringside, and sometimes can be persuaded to join us up here in the studio, especially if they've been making headlines in the fashion